say, sir?
It's all right.
You're like your father. You can see them too, can't you?
My father. What did he think he saw?
It ain't my place to say, sir. But
Go on.
begging your pardon, sir, you should go. This place, it drove your father mad.
Drove him? Did he say what or whom he saw?
I'm sure I don't know, sir.
Best not push her too hard. She's scared enough of me already. I've been babbling in my sleep since I was a child. It's nothing to worry about. Poor girl is scared out of her wits.
Of course, sir. Sorry, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
It's Ailsa, sir. Ailsa Crannan. Oh, and Master Andrew asks if you would join him in the library. After breakfast, of course.
Thank you, Miss Crannan.
Aye, and once you're done in the kitchen, go and clean up the cellar. The spiders have made a nest down there. A big one, too. They're crawling everywhere. Master David, nice of you to grace us with your presence.
I appreciate your patience.
I've had the staff prepare some of the finest Scottish delicacies for you. Black pudding, haggis, scrambled eggs with deer brain, and bacon.
That was delicious. Thank you.
I'm sure our local specialities must seem peculiar to one raised as you were.
I was raised in India. My spectrum of peculiar has quite a range. Lady Margaret.
David?
May I first apologize for my strange behavior last night? It's just that...
Think nothing of it. You are obviously tired from your travels. Least said, soonest mended.
What kind of man was my grandfather?
Oh, he was magnificent. He was handsome, so handsome, and caring.
Caring enough to knock a defenseless child down the stairs.
All was so very different when he was around.
I don't want to give her another reason to think me mad. This may seem like an unusual question.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't, dear boy.
Have I ever been here before? Is it possible I visited as a child and can no longer remember?
Oh no, you are a stranger to these walls.
And I have a feeling you prefer it stayed that way. The maid, she seemed to be acting strangely, like she was frightened of me.
Yes, well, she's a simple sort, that one. She has probably heard of the curse of the Gordons the locals like to whisper about.
Curse? What curse?
Just a peasant superstition. I would guess she was worried you'd show the same displays of unpredictable violence as your father did.
I never knew my father to be the violent type.
Oh, there are many things you do not know about your father. This is his doing.
What? But how?
I'd rather not discuss it, David. And that maid should really keep her mouth shut and locate the earring she lost. She's like a magpie with shiny, expensive things.
I could give it to her, and she'd still never tell me anything useful about my father or the secrets of this place. But the maid? I could use this to earn her trust.
I shall take my leave, Lady Margaret.
Yes. Oh, and David, the master of the house needs to respect the privacy of those under his roof. Even your father understood that. Sometimes a cabinet is locked for a reason.
A cabinet? I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I don't know anything about it.
I see. Never mind, then.
Miss Crannan? I noticed the attic door is locked.
You'd best ask Angus, sir. I hardly go up there.
The mere mention of the attic terrified her. What is in there?
I think you may have lost this.
Oh, sir! Oh, thank you, sir. I only wanted to see how it looked in the mirror. I didn't mean to. I was scared to tell her ladyship. Oh, she can have such a temper.
What are you going to do now?
If I can sneak it into the salon, maybe her ladyship will think she lost it there herself.
From what I know about her, I very much doubt her ladyship will.
Would you like me to escort you to the cellar?
Wouldn't be proper to ask the owner of the house to do that, sir.
Well, I'm not the owner yet, and you didn't ask.
Very kind of you, sir.
Happy to help. I'll let you know when I'm ready to accompany you down there. Isn't that used for transporting cooked food? Why is there blood in it?
Ugh, the wee scunner thought it would be funny to put one of his dead beasties in it to fear me. He should keep them in the cellar and... Sorry, sir. I'm speaking out of turn.
Did you ever talk to my father?
I was serving here when he... That is to say,
Go on, please.
I didn't think it'd be proper, sir. Lady Margaret said... Sorry, sir. I must get on with my work.
She's as scared of Margaret as she is of the butler. Poor girl.
You said my father saw things.
I don't want to talk about it, sir.
What happened to my father here?
I'm sorry, sir. You're not like the rest of them here. Oh, sir, there's things you should know, but I really need this job.
She knows something, but how can I convince her to trust me?
I shall leave you to your work. Shall we?
Sorry, did that scare you, Elsa? I didn't think... Huh.
And you are?
Edward Mallory. You may call me Edward III.
So this is Cousin Eddie. He seems
Welcome to my castle.
as terrible as the rest of them. My castle indeed.
You've lived here all your life, so you would have met my father.
Only after he lost what marbles he had left. If it were up to me, I'd have locked him up in the loony bin a bit sooner.
Locked him up.
Pleased to meet you, Eddie. So, your parents would be my aunt and uncle Clara and Victor. Are they...
Dead. Dead as doornails, the pair of them.
Lovely.
So what are you doing down here anyway?
There's a line between honesty and rudeness that Cousin Eddie doesn't seem to recognize.
I was helping Miss Crannan.
Oh, why didn't you ask me?
Excuse me, sir. Sirs, I really have to go.
Leaving so soon? Was it something I said? They all tend to act like that in the presence of nobility.
You said something about a loony bin?
I did. Oh, you don't know.
Well?
Well, never you mind. I have an animal to prepare.
I'm getting very tired of everyone in this house avoiding my questions.
There's something you should know, sir. Something important. I overheard them talking, and
You're paid to work, not chat. Get to it, girl.
Sorry, Mr. McKinnon. Library, after dinner.
At last, I might get some answers.
David, apologies for not being here to greet you. As the telephone in the castle is not working due to the recent storm, I have had to journey to the village to communicate with my office. Upon my return, I shall show you to the chapel where you can pay your respects to your father. Yours, Andrew Harrison.
Or maybe I'll just head to the chapel myself, just as soon as the weather clears. This'll make it easier to carry. The boy. It must be. But I need to be sure. Perhaps the names are on the back. Lady Margaret. She looks happy. I can't imagine her smiling like that these days. The boy. How did he provoke Edward into throwing him down the stairs? My family. Yet they're all still strangers to me. Grandfather Edward. Just as he looked last night. What's this? Looks like it's drawn in blood? Regardless of what I told Miss Crannan, these visions are like nothing I've ever experienced before, and they're getting worse. Lady Margaret?
Yes, David?
I saw an old photograph of a boy in the other room. Something tells me she wouldn't be happy if she knew I had it in my pocket.
Ah, that was taken in 1894. Young Johnny, your father.
You can remember the exact year.
It's a funny thing when you reach my age. You can remember dates from decades ago.
But not what you had for breakfast.
Maybe others can't.
Who, may I ask, were the others in the picture?
That would be your Aunt Clara and your late great-grandmother, the last true Countess of Scahandew House. And my dear Edward, of course.
I noticed my father had a scar on his face. How did that happen?
Falling from a tree, perhaps? I can't recall. But your father was a clumsy child.
Can't recall. But you remember the date the photograph was taken.
I shall take my leave, Lady Margaret.
Yes,